This is so unnerving, man. Your gearbox is... What's going on here then?
Oh no.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to version 1 and welcome to episode 16 of Fat Rags. When we get your car on, we have a chat about it and then we send it. And in today's episode, we've got this absolutely massive spec Renault Megane RS Mark II track car. This is Jay's R26R inspired, track prepped Renault Megane R26. Engine mods: the car is running the Pro Alloy intercooler, K-Tech Racing 3-inch catback, R26R clutch kit, Deca 630cc injectors, Ram air induction kit with K-Tech blanking plate, a 3-inch downpipe and a map from the boys over at RS Tuning, running 274 horsepower and 286 foot-pounds of torque. Suspension: the car is running BC coilovers, 10 kg in the front and 7 kg in the rear with adjustable top mounts. Megane 3 front hubs and rear axle, Super Pro anti-roll bar with polybushed rear axle and lower arms, fully corner weighted, switches front brace and Powerflex engine and gearbox mounts. Brakes are the Mark III Brembos on Godspeed 2-piece J-hooks, RC6 front pads, standard rear discs with WinMax W5 pads, braided lines throughout and custom 3D printed cooling ducts. The interior is legit. 0.1 shifter, SW Motorsport FIA spec roll cage, rear strut brace and driver passenger footplates, Cobra Evolution bucket seats, Scroff 6-point harnesses, Sabel 330mm steering wheel and OMP Boss with quick release, track door cards with Porsche door opener straps, fully stripped interior and FIA cut-off switch mounted to the dash. Exterior: wheels and tyre setup, the absolute grail ATS GTRs in an 18x9, wrapped once again in the very popular Nankang AR1s. Plastic windows with sliders and the R26R spoiler with the Maxton lip extension. I've had to thin out this list because it would have taken up half of the video, but that's all the juicy stuff. So let's stop chatting and go get some. So before we get into today's video, as per usual, if you enjoy this content, make sure you leave it a like rating, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and ring the bell notification to find your way back for any future French car content, obviously. And today we're out here with Jay from Que Automotive in his Megane Mark II, as I've briefly gone over in the intro. But Jay, what have you got to say about it?
Well, it is an R26. It's 274 brakes, so not massive power, with a few bolt-ons, as you can see.
So this is your literally primarily your track car?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't put this on the road at all?
We drive it to and from the track, but
okay.
It's, you know, it's not really a great place to be fair.
Yeah, it feels serious in there, I won't lie. I've been in a couple of cars, you know, set up for track,
yeah.
But this thing feels serious. When you get into a car with a big old cage like this,
yeah.
And, you know, wrap-around seats and stuff, it feels a lot more legit.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Right,
It feels a lot more legit. But yeah, so this is primarily your track car. What made you get into a Mark II in the first place?
So, obviously, if you've seen Ash's previous video, I had an RS200 Clio, which I loved. That was my first sort of, first introduction to the Renault Magic, essentially.
That car lives rent-free in my head, mate, I tell you.
Yeah.
I think about it once a week, at least.
Yeah, so the noise of that car, the NA noise, the F4R engine, it's just like magic. It's great. But basically, this car came up for sale. I got offered this car, basically, and I had to have it. I bought it all done. I've changed a few things aesthetically, but mechanically, you know, it was all built. And since purchasing it, I've met on Instagram. I met a couple of the previous owners, so
Oh, sweet.
so it's all been built and evolved through different owners and petrol heads.
It's the real deal in here. Like when I say it's stripped out to the limit, I think, as far as I'd go. Still got a dash, so it feels like a car.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a wreck.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got obviously a big cage, plastic windows.
Yeah.
I think this is only my second time in a car with plastic windows.
They're not great.
It's hot in here. It is hot in here. Where we going, Joe?
We drove to Germany in it in June, just from the ferry at Harwich to Nürburgring. So it's like circa 4 hours, but it's you know, it's not a great place to be for 4 hours.
First impressions, like I say, being in here, very serious, but not difficult to drive.
Yeah.
I know you said you softened the suspension off a bit for today,
Yeah.
which I appreciate, because where we're going today is not exactly the smoothest of roads. But yeah, no, everything at the moment, first impressions, it's easy to drive, clutch isn't heavy, steering's really light, it feels quite direct as well, like not much.
It's quite pointy.
Yeah, there's not much play on the steering wheel at all, really.
The previous owner, Scott, he'll probably watch this. Hello, Scott. He did loads of remedial work. You know, like rebuilt the front hubs, new wheel bearings, drive shafts.
Stuff that goes unnoticed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd spent a lot of time and, you know, invested a bit of money in making it. You know, bringing it. So he didn't have any problems.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than going on a track day. You know, and something breaks, and it's, you know, put it on. You got to get it home and.
Yeah. So it's a fairly old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old car.
Yeah.
So I think when you start doing that sort of stuff, mate, where you start doing that sort of stuff, it kind of has to be done to make the car stay, you know, on its toes, especially when you're giving it the abuse that it gets, you know, on track and stuff. The turbo, can we just?
It sounds amazing.
What does it sound like that for? It sounds so decent.
Yeah.
So decent. I love it. Going here.
Yeah, please.
Turbo sounds too good. Oh, it's too addictive. I ain't even lent on it yet.
I know.
I ain't even lent on it. But we're gonna get some fuel. BRB.
Yeah.
Stab from third.
Flat through it. Stay on it, guys. Stay on it. Stay on it. Stay on it.
I don't know these roads too well, but
Yeah, it's horrible. Someone's telling you to stay in the throttle.
I must admit, if you know the road, I'm in it. I'm staying in it. It's got so much grip though, like.
Oh, this?
Yeah. So much grip. Like, I'm trying to get a little bit of heat in the tyres before we give it anything, but like, no tyre squeal, no drama. That was 50 mile an hour right there. Like nothing.
That's why I wanted to try and get you on track. You know, we've been trying to make it happen on track.
I know.
So you can get to those limits.
We'll get it done, man.
We will get it done. Yeah, we will.
Get it done. I'd love to experience something like this on track, you know, because it's been on the bucket list for a long time.
It's that noise.
This is good.
Noise.
It's just good. It's like, yeah, it's really, really secure, really stable, really confident. It just, yeah, it's like the perfect mix as well. It didn't feel like it was overpowering the chassis at all.
Yeah.
It just makes me want to have a second car, like a second party car. Do you know what I mean? One for the track and stuff, because I'm too precious about the Meg. I don't know why. I'm just too precious about it.
It's a lot of money to track, for one, and the thing is, this is a really nice car, actually.
Yeah,
so,
well,
you know, nothing worse than like following someone and they're just spraying. You're not going to get stones on a track, but you know, like you know, you still get road track rush on this, rubber and bits of oil when you clean them after a track day. You know, you've got a nice car. you don't really want to be getting too carried away in it.
When you get up in that top end of the boost, it really goes for it, doesn't it?
It's mad really, because it's only got a filter on it. It's got a blanking plate.
That's a
on
blanking
it.
plate.
Yeah, well, I've seen it in there. I think it's a forged one actually. Forged blanking plate.
I'll tell you what, it feels strong for 270 brake. You had this on a dyno?
No.
I think you might be punching a little bit more. It's really strong. Yeah, it's really strong. I love when you've got the ability to like drop weight in something like this and then just have a usable power.
Yep.
But it makes it doesn't feel slow. Do you know what I mean? When you say 270 brake these days, that's nothing, is it?
That's right.
You can get that from a mapped Fiesta.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
Do you know what I mean? A stage 2 Fiesta. But
Yeah.
like when you got it in the right.
Yeah, it's a combination of everything.
When you get it in the right situation, it's so. I said to Tommy, it's so cliche, but Renault. One thing Renault did so good was like the mix.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be beating the German stuff on the straight, but it wouldn't be. It's no slouch.
Yeah,
but then through the corners, it's
absolutely untouchable.
Oh, yeah.
And it's magic.
It is. It's so good. Like, I've driven so many different types of French cars now. I've accidentally become the French car guy, but it's not a bad place to be because there's still a huge stigma against French cars, but they're just so good, and they're.
Well, prior to the Renaults, I'd had E36s.
Yeah.
That was my other two track cars I'd had previous to that.
Yeah.
Which were, they're indestructible, and they're great. They are amazing track cars, but it's just missing. This has got the bit you're missing.
Yeah.
The magic.
People also sleep on French cars, especially because they're normally front wheel drive.
Yeah. That's right.
People want the rear wheel drive experience, which I understand.
Yeah, I get it.
People want the engine in the front and the party in the rear.
Yeah.
So, but with something like this, this is more about track times. You know what I mean? Lap times. Obviously, having fun in a Renault is standard, but it's more about the lap times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out there hunting stuff that you really shouldn't be sitting close to and stuff like that.
That's exactly it, isn't it? You go hunting when you're in a Renault.
Somewhere like the Nürburgring as well,
Yep.
with however many corners there are, over 13 miles,
Yep.
You're in good company with Megane there.
You need to probably cool down for about an hour after one
Yeah.
a boosty lap.
A really boosty lap.
But that lap is unreal.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Madness, isn't it? Leave your brake until really late as well.
Yeah, man, I can feel it.
Yeah, now they've got a bit of heat in them. It's wild.
Yeah, mate. Oh, did they that sort of time? That guy's cooking as well.
Yeah.
Come on, mate. So much grip. Traction control kicked in then. This thing has got so much mid-corner grip. It's mental.
Yeah. You can feel it as well, can't you? You can feel it all working.
It dug in.
Yeah, yeah, they dig it. Yeah.
It got to a point where I got to that middle of that corner and it just dug in.
It felt really good though. I know I've softened it off for the video, but it felt.
Mate, it feels good.
Feels like really good.
Mate,
like,
it feels good.
Not glidey. I don't know how to.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just felt really nice. Brands hatch. I had to soften it off.
Too stiff.
Yeah, because it was accelerating out the corners and bunny hopping. Where it was the combination of grip and throttle. It was like bouncing.
Yeah.
So I came in and softened it off, and it was great.
No, this is as close to perfect as I could describe as a package.
Yeah.
The brakes are stronger than the engine, which you want anyway.
Yeah, brakes are good.
But I don't know, man. It's really hard to explain. It's just right. It's just perfect.
Yeah. It's like been built by a few different people. Each time, everyone's added their bit and developed it, if you like.
Yeah.
You know, and it just really works.
Yeah.
Just power it through, whack it on.
Oh, Christ. This is so unnerving, man. It's just got so much grit.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So much grit, man.
That's the only thing in it with these seats.
Yeah.
So intrusive.
Can't see nothing. I can see you through there.
You're sweating, mate. I can see the sweat.
Yeah, I'm making, mate. That's what this car does. We've got a glazed arm. A lot of Krispy Kreme in here, look. This is where you notice I can't go as fast as the Clio. Through here I'm just going much faster. I can't see around the corners. Your gearbox is... What's going on here then?
Oh no. Cable's come off.
Where?
There, look.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it's there.
Am I in gear? I'll keep my foot on the clutch.
One eternity later.
It looks clear. Got power. Go. And again, just get on it early.
Oh, the traction control kicked in.
Oh no.
That's my fault, that's my fault. It's worth the hustle, this car. It's worth the sweat. It is just too good. Do you know what? I'm glad you don't have this on the road, because you'd get into so much trouble.
You would get so much
So
trouble.
much trouble.
Quickly as well.
Oh mate.
It's pure aspo.
It's just perfect. Like, it really is. It's so hard to describe on these videos and stuff when you're driving cars of a similar formula, but different way of delivering it. You know, like it's the power's right, the handling's right. You know, and like pointing it through that corner. I don't think I've actually driven a car that's pulled you through a corner like that.
Yeah. The diff doesn't work.
That and it's just like it feels like it. It's so hard to lean on a car on the road and feel full comfort because you can't fully trust the road.
Of course.
But when you said power through it, normally that would be handful of opposite lock, oversteer, that way.
Oh, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this was just, it weren't it. Like, it was literally, I pointed it over there, that was it. I was gone. So guys, I've absolutely worked up a sweat in this car today with these plastic windows and everything else, and really starting to pedal this car. It gets you working. Massive shout out to Jay once again for lending me another one of his personal cars, but obviously if you've been watching my content previously as well, we've had the Touring, the 3 Series Touring, that was Jay's car that actually sold. The guy messaged me about it, which was pretty cool, so he saw the video as well. Jay's 200 Clio, and then any other stuff that in the future potentially that we can do between Jay and myself. But for the meantime, where can they find you now for this car and the business and stuff going on?
So Kodai on Instagram.
Put it up on the screen.
Yeah, put it up on the screen. Yeah, then the business is called Que Automotive.
But yeah, so I'll leave Jay's socials and everything in the description as always, and appreciate you coming on the channel this time as well. This is the first time Jay's actually been on the channel, even though he's had 3 feature cars. So keep your eyes peeled for anything coming with the channel and potentially another collaboration with Jay. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.